and wind on down. You know, the plows can get out there and do what they have to do, but there still is that condition of wind, and it does pop up from time to time, 20 to 30 miles an hour, and that can create some whiteout conditions. Well, how would you like to drive 120 miles in the kind of weather that we had today? I just happen to have with me a student from Central Michigan University. This is Heather Marbett, and Heather, of course, is making me feel quite wimpy here because she's got just a couple layers on, and I'm dressed in 4 with a hat. So you drove this morning from Mount Pleasant down here.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about the drive.
I left at 11 this morning. I'd been warned by my family roads were terrible. I'd been watching you all morning on the Weather Channel. Roads were terrible, but I wanted to get down here. I wanted to leave school. So I braved the roads, and they weren't as bad. 75 was very, very clear. The only problems I have are going through Midland and M10. Other than that, very clear. Average speed of most drivers was about 60. I made it in about 3 hours. Normal drive time is about 2, so not much delay at all.
So even at times, though, when the wind blew and you were, how fast were you going on 75, you think?
About 55.
So about 55 miles an hour. Even when the wind blew, it didn't create like a whiteout in front of you?
No, not at all.
All right. So you think we overhyped it a little bit?
I think it was probably worse this morning. It was really bad in Mount Pleasant last night, but I waited late enough. I think it kind of died down, and it was not that bad at all.
All right. Are you even a little bit cold right now?
I'm getting there.
Okay, thanks, Heather, for making me feel better. I didn't tell her to say that either. I didn't tell her to say that. All right, guys, let's take a look at Sky Tracker radar here. You can see what's going on. Thanks, Heather. You can go inside and get warm now, because I know, you know, when I was in college, a little weather like this, that meant T-shirt and maybe a baseball cap. You know what I mean? Now it's 4 layers. But needless to say, you can see the snow is winding down and through here. I think as Heather mentioned, I kind of agree with her. I think this morning when we had the visibilities, Warren and Jennifer, about, I don't know, maybe a half mile to a mile, and the wind was kicking up, that made it worse. And the snow was a lot lighter. It hadn't drifted yet, so it was freshly fallen. It was dried out. And now I don't think we need to be in winter storm warnings. I think we really need to be in more of a blowing snow advisory where occasionally these winds will kick up. Again, this is, you know, Big Beaver Road behind me, and traffic is moving along just fine. As Heather mentioned, that 120-mile drive from Mount Pleasant all the way down here to where I am in Troy was not bad. It took her about an extra hour and 15 minutes. And all in all, you know, for conditions like this, that's not too bad. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. I can feel for Jim, though, because, you know, I know when I travel north to visit my parents or to Ohio to visit my in-laws, I feel it now. You know, those